Christianity's Pagan Roots and Doctrinal Inconsistencies. A Hebraic Perspective. Written by Christopher Turner, founder and editor-in-chief of Heritage Weekly. All praises to the Most High. First, a word from our sponsors. Explore Christopher Turner's books on Kindle for in-depth studies on Israelite heritage and scriptural truths. Like and support to help continue spreading valuable content. Back to your content. Christianity's Pagan Roots and Doctrinal Inconsistencies. From its inception, Christianity has been lauded as a faith built upon the teachings of Yahweh, whom the world falsely calls Jesus Christ, and the writings of the apostles. However, an honest analysis of Christianity's origins and historical trajectory reveals a troubling departure from the truth, as laid out in the scriptures. This article will delve into the foundational flaws of Christianity, exposing its pagan roots, doctrinal inconsistencies, and how it has perpetuated a system of deception that obscures the true identity of the Israelites, descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, and the conquest of Turtle Island, Azareth. Introduction. The Bible, as Yahweh's divinely inspired word, provides a clear narrative. It is a record of his covenant with Israel, the descendants of Jacob. Yet throughout history, this narrative has been co-opted, misinterpreted, and distorted by Gentile nations. Christianity, emerging from the Roman Empire, played a pivotal role in this distortion. Rooted in pagan traditions and Roman political ambitions, it departed from the Hebraic faith practiced by Yahweh and the apostles. This departure was not accidental. It was a calculated effort to suppress the truth and establish a system that could consolidate power under the guise of religion. The pagan roots of Christianity. Christianity's pagan origins can be traced back to its fusion with Roman polytheism under Emperor Constantine. Before Constantine's so-called conversion, the Roman Empire had already been a bastion of idol worship, incorporating Greek and Persian deities into its pantheon. After his rise to power, Constantine sought to unify the empire under a single faith. However, rather than adopting the truth of the scriptures, he merged elements of paganism with a corrupted form of the teachings of Yahweh. The establishment of Sunday worship, the veneration of the cross, and the celebration of pagan holidays such as Christmas and Easter, are prime examples of this fusion. Sunday, dedicated to the worship of the sun god, was substituted for the Sabbath, Exodus 28:11. Christmas, derived from the Roman festival Saturnalia, was falsely attributed to the birth of Yahweh, despite the absence of any scriptural evidence supporting this date. Easter, rooted in the worship of Ishtar, replaced the Passover, a holy convocation commanded by Yahweh, Leviticus 23:5-6. The doctrinal inconsistencies of Christianity. Beyond its pagan origins, Christianity's doctrines reveal a pattern of inconsistency and misrepresentation. Central to this is the doctrine of universal salvation, which falsely teaches that salvation is available to all nations indiscriminately. This doctrine directly contradicts the scriptures, which make it clear that Yahweh's covenant and promises are exclusive to the Israelites. For example, Romans 9:4-5 explicitly states that the covenants, the giving of the law, the service of Yahweh, and the promises pertain to Israel. Similarly, Matthew 15:24 records Yahweh saying, "I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Christianity's universalist narrative not only misrepresents these teachings, but also serves to obscure the true identity of the Israelites. Another major inconsistency lies in the rejection of Yahweh's law. Christianity falsely teaches that the law was abolished, citing misinterpreted passages such as Galatians 3:13 and Romans 10:4. However, Yahweh himself declared, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law, or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." Matthew 5:17. This rejection of the law has led to moral decay and spiritual confusion, as the commandments of Yahweh are the foundation of righteous living. The true Israelites, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Perhaps the most egregious aspect of Christianity's deception is its role in erasing the identity of the true Israelites. According to the scriptures, the Israelites are the descendants of the 12 sons of Jacob, chosen by Yahweh to be his peculiar people, Deuteronomy 7:6. Today these descendants are found among the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, those who suffered through the transatlantic slave trade and the European conquest of Turtle Island, Azareth. The transatlantic slave trade, prophesied in Deuteronomy 28:68, marked the forced migration of Israelites to the Americas, where they were subjected to brutal oppression. Similarly, the conquest of Turtle Island by European colonizers fulfilled prophecies such as Deuteronomy 28:49-50, which speak of a swift and fierce nation coming against Israel. The Caribbean islands, Central America and South America, became the epicenters of this conquest, where the indigenous tribes, descendants of the northern kingdom of Israel, were subjugated and assimilated into the colonial system. Edom's role in Christianity and colonialism. The rise of Christianity coincided with the rise of the Edomite nations, descended from Esau, Jacob's brother. Edomites, known for their cunning and deception, infiltrated various empires and dynasties throughout history. Haman the Agagite, Alexander the Great, and Constantine are all tied to Edomite lineage. Under Constantine's Byzantine rule, Christianity was used as a tool to suppress the Hebraic faith and enforce conformity. This paved the way for the Holy Roman Empire, where Esau, through intermarriage with Gomerite Germanic tribes, consolidated power under the Romo-Germanic lineage of Charlemagne. This same lineage spearheaded European colonialism, which brought devastation to the Israelites in the Americas. Colonialism, driven by the monarchs of Europe, many of whom were Edomites, ushered in an era of systemic oppression that persists to this day. The so-called Caucasian race, falsely claiming the mantle of civilization and righteousness, is the modern manifestation of Edom's domination. The judgment of the nations. The Bible is clear about the fate of the nations that have oppressed Israel. Isaiah 14:21 commands, "Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers," highlighting the generational consequences of sin. This judgment is not arbitrary, it is the fulfillment of Yahweh's justice. Esau's descendants, who have perpetuated colonialism, slavery, and systemic oppression, will face Yahweh's wrath. Obadiah 1:18 declares, "There shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau," signifying the complete destruction of Edom. Revelation 13:10 further states, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." These prophecies affirm that the oppressive nations will reap what they have sown, and Israel will be vindicated. The restoration of Israel. Despite centuries of suffering, the Israelites will be restored to their rightful place as Yahweh's chosen people. The Messianic era, under the reign of Yahawashi, will mark the end of Edomite domination, and the establishment of Yahweh's eternal kingdom. This kingdom, prophesied in Daniel 2:44, will crush all other kingdoms and stand forever. In this kingdom the Israelites will rule in righteousness, and Yahweh's law will be the standard for all nations. The heathen who once oppressed Israel will serve them in fulfillment of prophecies such as Isaiah 0:12 and Zechariah 14:16. The restoration of Israel is not only a testament to Yahweh's faithfulness but also a demonstration of his sovereignty over all creation. Conclusion. Christianity, with its pagan roots and doctrinal inconsistencies, has played a significant role in distorting the truth and oppressing the true Israelites, blacks, Latinos and Native Americans. However, Yahweh's plan is unshakable. The rise of Edom and the subsequent oppression of Israel were allowed for a time, but judgment is coming. As the prophecies unfold, the Israelites will be restored to their rightful place, and Yahweh's kingdom will reign supreme. The era of deception and oppression will end, and the truth will shine forth as a beacon of hope for Yahweh's people. Credentials, by Christopher Turner, Heritage Weekly founder and editor-in-chief. Expert theologist specializing in Israelite heritage and covenant theology. Biblical scholar and cultural historian focusing on ancient scriptures and the lost tribes of Israel. Author of Rediscovering Israel, a comprehensive study of covenantal promises and the scattered tribes. Contributor to theological journals Insights on Hebrew Texts, Prophecy, and New Testament Context. Public speaker discussing Israelite identity, prophecy, and scriptural truth in the modern age. Covenant theology researcher, unveiling the promises made to Israel and their fulfillment.